Manic Monday. We're live. We're live. Bashing the Brain back from the studio. Two separate studios, of course, but Willie is back from his vacation in Athens, Greece, where he did nothing but eat pasta for a week.
Oh. Almost. I wish. I wanted to.
Is that accurate?
No, I didn't eat. I ate gyros like the whole time.
With no ketchup?
Yeah. No ketchup. Well, you want ketchup for your fries. You want ketchup for your fries. Okay? And they oftentimes have mayo or like this. They use this weird mayo over there where it's like
yeah, mayo's big. Yep.
Yeah, but they have this one special. I mean, there's this version of mayo that it'll say like a Euro platter with French fries, and I'll be like ketchup, and they'll like be no mayo, and they'll give me a side of like pink sauce. Like, I don't know. Anyway,
listen, when I was little, we dipped our French fries in mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
I
know. I tried to get Mark Hall to do that. We did get Mark Hall to do that, didn't we?
I think he tried it. Yeah. I gotta have Mark Hall on. We're launching a new website this week. I want to say we're launching it this week for the Oklahoma RTC. New website, a lot of cool stuff. So I might have Mark Hall on in conjunction with that. Now that you mentioned that, yeah, big UFC news. We're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we.
Hey, should we start the show with Gable game while we wait? You think what?
Yeah. Let's do the Gable game. But I think Nolf's going to roll around with, Nolf's on the Real American Freestyle card, and I think he's going to roll around with Marky a little bit. Just to train up a little bit, yeah.
All right, let's do Gable game. We're gonna kick it off with a new one today. Tyler Kasich is the first guess.
Wow. Okay.
All right, it's not a sophomore. It's down, so it's a freshman. It's a freshman out of the Big Ten, upper weights, lower than 92% win percentage, lower than third place. So, Willie, give me a freshman 184-pounder in the Big 12.
Freshman. 84. In the Big 12.
Or anywhere. Any freshman 184 outside of the Big 10.
Freshman, 84. ACC. Just do for the sake. You do Simon Ruiz.
Okay.
That's just.
So it's not 174. It's higher. So it's likely like let's jump to a freshman 197-pounder, lower than an 80% win percentage, lower than a fifth place finish at NCAA's.
Tucker Hogan.
Oh, you had that one ready to go. No. So it is a freshman heavyweight who did not place.
We just did Spencer Moncherry was we needed a freshman heavyweight non-placer a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we need it again. There's only like 2 or 3 there, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did the same thing. Jimmy Mullen.
No,
there's only 3 of them.
Okay, it's not Mullen, but it is freshman. It is 285. It is a non-placer.
What's the situation with the conference?
No ACC, no MAC, no Ivy, no Big Ten.
No ACC, no MAC, no Ivy, no Big Ten. Are you sure we didn't get Stephen Moncherry again?
That would be funny if we did. Let me see. Nope, not him. Higher than a 60% win percentage, and it is not the SoCon.
I do not know any more freshmen.
Know any more freshmen? Who's in the Big 12?
Daniel Herrera.
Winner. That was a pretty quick one.
Not bad. We used enhancers.
We used PBs, but we're making it fun for the people while we wait for people to come into the live stream. I'm going to tweet the link out one more time. Grateful for the opportunity to do a live show. We're overcoming adversity.
We're overcoming a lot of adversity. Actually, we have no adversity. We live the good life, guys. We're privileged. We're white privileged human beings. I mean, that's what we are. Okay. You want to start the show off with a little? What do you
Let's
want to kick off? Mason
let
Parris?
let's start with one thing we need to do better on is tell people what we've been doing. Like, we do a lot of stuff, so I'll kick it off with, on Friday I had Jayden James on the show, fresh off his U17 world title. So that was an awesome 30-minute chat. Go listen to that on Baschamania everywhere. Great having Jayden James on. We talked about him flipping from VTech to Penn State, what he's looking forward to about Penn State, what's led to his dominance that he's had, why Jersey wrestling's so tough, going from, winning your first state title as a junior and going 43-0 with a 100% bonus. So awesome show. Go listen to that 30-minute conversation. You'll enjoy it, Penn State fan or not.
Yeah, good kid, good family, good dad, right upbringing. I mean, right progression. In that they've never cut a lot of weight. They've never really focused on winning right now. A couple years ago, I said to Nolan, Jayden's father, I said, man, why didn't he go? I don't know. It was like 65 or something like that, or 71. I think it was last year, and it was 71. I said, man, why didn't Jayden? If Jayden could have made it 65, because it was the same weight as Melvin Miller. I'm like, it would have been nice to have Jayden James and Melvin back to back. And Nolan said, wait, because he's going to grow this summer, and we're not. It would be nice to make the team. We think we can still make the team at 71. But if he doesn't, he doesn't, and it's best for his long-term growth, it's best for his long-term development to not be cutting weight right now. And so they sacrificed immediate gratification and immediate success to do what's best in his long-term interest. And that's what I mean by the right development strategy.
Yeah, and he said it, we talked about weight cut. He's like not cutting weight. He's just going to keep going up naturally and see where it goes. So, yes, go listen to the Jayden James interview. That one is out now.
It's interesting. There was a long time that I thought, it's projecting weight classes in inexact science, but I think I do a pretty good job at it. Some kids I get wrong, and some kids, but for the most of the time I got a pretty good grip on it. And both Jayden and Melvin, I like second guess myself on both of them, because seeing their frames as like a 8th grader and a freshman, I had Jayden pegged for 84-ish, right? 74, 84. And I had Melvin pegged for a 74, 84, 97. Both of them, actually. 74 to 97, somewhere in that range. And then they kind of leveled off, and I'm like, they didn't grow as much as I thought they would. But now you can see Jayden is really starting to sprout. Over in Greece, I mean, from the time we saw him in Vegas to now, he's grown a lot. And he's back on that course where I'm like, yeah, I think he's like 84-ish.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, so have you been working on anything content-wise that we need to mention?
Dude, so
I know a lot of Real American, which we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Now, in Greece, I was really feeling the pressure. Like, all right, so I'm doing everything for Cadet Worlds. I'm, on that schedule and on that grind, and kind of didn't do. I still was working on Real American Freestyle, but I didn't do. It wasn't my first priority. As soon as I got back here, I started hardcore on Real American Freestyle, and I haven't stopped since. And it's been a lot of work. It's really crazy. We finally got the, well, I mean, it's the first time for all of us, and really putting the pieces together, and it's crunch time now. 20 days out. I think we got a great card. I think the card in and of itself is really good and really compelling. I think, considering the circumstances that we had, it's the first card. Nobody's quite sure what to expect. It's right before Senior World, so people are training and traveling for that, and not willing to risk injury and not willing to risk a loss. and not willing to disrupt their training. Most of them, and especially the overseas guys, for them, the international stars for travel, they don't want to come to America and then go back. Right?
Yeah.
So the card we have, considering all the obstacles, I think it's a really great card. There is one match that's still going to be changed. We had late development there. It should be announced today. It will be announced today.
Should we just break it? Just break it.
I guess I'll let the cat out of the bag. Don't tweet it or nothing. It'll be only for the viewers of this show.
This will be clipped so quick. Clip it.
Maybe I shouldn't do it.
Just say it. Just say it. Give the people an exclusive on a Monday morning.
It'll be out in a little bit. DJ Hamidi's in.
Sinclair is out. Hamidi is in.
Yep.
So, which I like because, I want to talk Junior Worlds in a few minutes, but it's funny because you look at Junior Worlds and half the lineup is Penn State, and I think I put a graphic out and Yaya Thomas's dad was very quick to be like, "Oh, I can't wait for the day that Team USA isn't tied to college teams." And well, the reason I put the college logos on there is because I think the colleges get behind it, the college fans get behind it. It's very important. And so when you have different college representation and you have a couple of Oklahoma State guys now on the card, you have some Penn State guys in the card, I think that's great. So I think another Oklahoma State guy on the card, that's a good move. I like it.
Yeah, yep. So, and it's an interesting matchup with Dake, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're pretty excited. Fantastic year from DJ Hamidi coming off. He beat 2 champs back to back. That's what it took for him to win a title.
Yeah. You want to talk the final Real American card? You want to talk the other topics? Which direction?
Well, yeah, let's hit it. We'll talk about it in more detail because we have a couple shows until then. But for now, Nathan Tomasello against Matt Ramos. Part of the interesting development with that is Matt Ramos is going to be wrestling for the Philippines. There's a couple USA transfers happening this year. Nathan Tomasello, Matt Ramos is one, Ramos to Philippines, and the other one is Jacob Cardenas to Cuba. So that's interesting. Yanni Bajrang.
That'll be a banger.
Don't need to say much more about that. Lance Palmer, Austin Gomez. Lance Palmer, through the process of RAF, I've been really getting close with him, and he's a really good cat.
He's a good dude,
and he's training really hard for it. He's an awesome guy. He's going to be part of RAF, like our team, actually, going forward. Jason Nolf, Evan Wick, Sarah Hildebrand against Zeltsin Hernandez, Pan Am medalist from Mexico. Kyle Dake, Dean Hamidi, Real Woods, Darian Caldwell, Kennedy Blades, Alejandra Rivera, who, by the way, Rivera's young. She's only like 20, 23, 22. She's really you like to see. Now, I'm not saying that she is a great matchup for Kennedy Blades, but she's a solid opponent. And I don't know about you guys, but I always, if I'm not rooting for America, I'm rooting for other Pan Am countries to develop and be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I like there to be some depth in our Continental. Bo Nickel, Jacob Cardenas, and Wyatt Hendrickson against Mustafa Elders, who was an Olympian at 97, is now moving up to heavyweight. So that rounds out the card.
That'll be good. August 30th. Busy weekend that weekend.
Really busy.
Football's back.
Yeah, football's back. I hope that especially you guys in the area come and watch it. I think it's good. Ticket sales have been going good. And it's a really good start this early. The amount of tickets that have been sold now is pretty good. But we hope everybody comes. We hope everybody in the area comes. it is tricky because Ohio State plays. One good part is that Ohio State plays early, so I mean it's not great that they play at Texas at all, right? Because you're going to lose some people there, but they do play early, and we start at 7. But it is opening football weekend, so we'll see.
Yeah, let's. You want to talk some of these college tidbits?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so well, I guess we can start with the senior level tidbit. Mason Parris announces yesterday or Saturday that he's officially back in wrestling, which I didn't really see coming. We're seeing. We talked about it before that some of these heavyweights are just so talented that they're trying other things. They're trying football, WWE. You saw it with Gable. You saw it with Mason. And, Mason gave the NFL a serious shot. He trained hard for it. He was at the Chargers mini camp. He was doing tryouts in the spring. And it just sounds like it didn't work out. And so he's like, you know what? I'm back to wrestling. I'm back with the Cliff Keen Wrestling Club in Michigan. And I've got all eyes focused on 2028 LA. So very cool that Mason Parris is back. Losing a couple of our heavyweight stars a bit early stunk. So I love that he's back.
Yeah, it's we've been in this sort of roundabout where it's like, do we have a good heavyweight group, or are we really hurting at heavyweight? It's been back and forth between being really deep and having no one. Because Gable's sort of in limbo. Wyatt Hendrickson, if he couldn't get his exemption, he would have been in the military and we wouldn't have had him. Mason Parris was doing football, right? So we had a lot of guys on the fence. But now it seems like 2 of them are definitely back, and will Gable be back?
I don't think Gable will be back. I think he's going to go the UFC route.
I got to get a win.
Yeah, I think that, Gable's doing this Craig Jones Invitational in August, and then all signs point to him wanting to give the UFC and giving MMA a real shot. And I think with his wrestling accolades, he'll get that UFC treatment of like not having to go the standard path that amateur fighters have to take. So I think he'll want to take that route while it's available, while he has the stardom, the fame, the recent accolades, and all that.
Sure. I want to see him compete in any capacity, whether that's UFC, whether it's grappling, whether that's wrestling, and maybe, the UFC can do a little bit of what they're doing with Bo Nickel and saying, yeah, Gable, you can wrestle at RAF once in a while, right?
Yeah. And I don't have we seen Mason Parris versus Wyatt Hendrickson in freestyle? I remember we saw it was a decision match. We saw it the Cliff Keen, Mason's final collegiate year in 2023. We saw it in the Cliff Keen. He beat him 12-5. I don't know that they've wrestled since.
I don't think they have. Did Gable beat Parris at the Open the one year?
Gable beat Parris, yeah.
I think
he demolished him. I think right after Mason won his Hodge Trophy, that 2023 year, I believe Gable smoked him at the Open, and then did not wrestle next year. Or no, didn't Gable win the Open and then not compete in the World Team Trials? And then Mason took over for Gable? Doug Jacobs. Mason's beaten Wyatt at least twice in freestyle. All right, yeah, I haven't seen those matches, or I just don't remember them. I'm pretty sure they've happened, but
I think Gable's last year. I could be wrong, but I think Gable beat both of them back to back at the Open. I think he beat Wyatt and I think he beat Wyatt and then he beat Mason in the same year. Somebody brought up Wrestle Madness also. Kirk Fleet, what's he doing?
He'll be back, just nursing. He had an injury at had an injury and surgery after NCAA's, so he'll be back and he's going to be in the mix as well.
He's a big dude.
But he's planning on wrestling right now, so he's
good. All right.
So I love that Mason Parris. That Mason Parris is back. Another little tidbit that came out, I believe maybe Friday. Penn State hosting the Big Tens this year. That'll be exciting, especially for us Northeasterns. I mean, I get to drive 3.5 hours to Penn State for Big Tens, and I get to drive 3.5 hours to Cleveland for NCAA's. So I as a Northeastern, I like all this.
Get your Big Ten tickets or hotels now.
Yeah, I booked one. The minute they said that. The minute they said it's at Penn State, I booked a hotel because it will.
Yeah.
It will get crazy.
That's like the only thing about Penn State. I mean, I personally like, some people like, we like events in a city, Philadelphia or Pittsburgh or Cleveland or, Nashville, anything. We need a big city. I like that Penn State and State College is kind of on an island away from everything. Just my preference. There's enough restaurants. There's enough things to do. What they don't have, though, is hotels.
But the Olympic trials was... I remember I had a place booked for the Olympic trials, and then at the last minute, we decided my wife was going to come and the kids were going to come, and so we switched hotels and got one that had a bigger room with a couch and stuff in it, and we were able to get one last minute. So I think the fact that there's no football going on will help a lot. Like, it's the middle of March. There's no football. True. There's nothing else going on. So I don't think it's going to be a problem getting hotels, but you're definitely going to get a better deal likely if you book now. So I booked.
Where are you staying? You know where you're staying?
I know where I'm staying. I can't disclose it on here because people might...
Why? Because of the paparazzi?
No, they might call and cancel my reservation. I saw that happen on a Barstool thing last week. Now I'm paranoid.
It was the worst. A few years ago, it was Tulsa. Or no, Oklahoma City. The NCAAs were in Oklahoma City a couple years ago, right? Well, a group of us had like an Airbnb booked for like a year, like 9 months.
I remember this. They canceled it on you like last minute.
About 2-3 weeks out, canceled. Like, bro, what's the point? What's the point of this?
Yeah. All right, so Penn State, the official host for Big Tens. Lennox Wolak announced as assistant coach at Penn. That was the latest coaching hire.
Huge.
Willie went on tilt over that. Kevin he's a Philly wrestling diehard, and Willie did not like the huge news. Willie was anticipating something bigger, but that's what Kevin does. If it, first of all, it is big for them. I'm sure they're very excited. But yeah, Willie did not like the...
It's certainly a good addition, but Kevin oversells everything. I love Kevin. I love him.
It's his passion, though. It's his passion for it, so I love it. Feed me the passion. Feed me super fans. Feed me people who are bought into the ecosystem. Have you heard any other whispers about other coaching hires? There's a couple that I know that you've told me that we can't say on air. Is there any... I feel like these should be getting announced soon.
Yeah, Lehigh's making a move. I don't know what the timeline is on that, but it's. I think it should be relatively soon. Like, I don't know what. I don't know what the timeline is. I was just with some of those guys this weekend playing quates. Do you know what quates are? Does a chat know what quates are? Well, it's the single best picnic game on planet Earth.
Have to take your word for that one.
I will go to the old cliche that it's kind of like horseshoes, but it's not kind of like horseshoes. You're throwing a rubber disc and you're trying to get it on a hub. and it's the best. It's the best game. You have a couple beers, you grill out, you throw some quates. Well, that's what I did that with the Lehigh guys this weekend, and yeah, they should have a hire soon.
Follow up from the
Binghamton,
chat real quick from the chat. Doug Jacobs, whose takes you do not like. 2023 U.S. Open, Mason beat Wyatt 20-7. 2023 World Team Trials, Mason won 12-11. So that last one pretty close, 12-11. Wyatt lost to Mason.
Good job, Doug Jacobs.
You were saying Binghamton, sorry.
Yeah, Binghamton, I'm not so sure on the timeline. Everybody's hearing the same group of names, which goes something like LeBlanc, Kellen Russell, Scott Green, Papadopoulos' name is in there, the former coach at Hofstra, who also was assistant coach at Binghamton. Who am I forgetting? So there's like a group of 5 or 6 guys that are connected to the Binghamton job. So we'll see about that.
And Nate Engel stepped down, and I thought by now it would have been announced where he's going. I'm surprised it's not out there yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not announced yet, but it's not going to be in division. I mean, it's not going to be in college. Yeah. Nate's going to somewhere not a college program. But then you have to ask who Oregon State is going to backfill that with.
Yep.
And so that's another one that is vacant.
Yeah. All right, Willie, big news this morning I want to talk about for a minute with you. Just before we went live, CBS and Paramount announced that Paramount has acquired the U.S. rights to TKO Group's UFC for $7.7 billion over 7 years. Billion with a B, which means the pay-per-views are officially dead. And we were talking about this just before we went live. It's like this happened with WWE first. Like everything went to Peacock and Netflix. No more pay-per-views for WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam. It's all just part of Peacock. I think it's actually moving to Netflix now next year. But now UFC's taking that same route, which I think is awesome. I think for
what's moving to Netflix?
I think WWE's live premium events.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I believe I read that. But yeah, the pay-per-view model, Willie, is officially dead. It's officially, everything is just a streaming service and a monthly. You know, Paramount Plus starts at $7.99 a month. So for a whole year, you now get what you would have had to pay for a single card. And now you get, I think they said 43 annual events. So kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm not fully educated on the data that comes back. Like it seems kind of odd that you can go from $150 a card. Isn't that what they are nowadays? Some of the time,
I thought they were like 89.
Okay, let's just say $80. It seems like odd to go from $80 one-time payment to now as long as you pay $13.
Well, I think it's a couple things. I think you're banking that you can monetize the fans throughout the year because now they're going to tune in more and you can build more fans. Also, Paramount paid $7.7 billion for the rights. That is a lot of money. That is a lot of cash flow.
Billion. That's incredible. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure I would imagine it maps. I'm not going to pretend that I know the details of it and how it maps. But for the consumer, for me, I get, I don't know, 4 or 5 cards a year. I don't get every one of them. I don't know, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, tops for me.
Depending on who's on it, and if it's $80, I could have swore I spent more than that, but if it's $80 times 4, you're looking at $300, and now even if you pay the full monthly thing for Paramount, it's a cost of basically one card, right?
Yeah.
So the consumer saves a lot.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, but
and really, like again, I buy it so infrequently that I don't even know. I know I have ESPN Plus, but I think you needed ESPN Plus to be able to buy the pay per view. So now it's like you don't need ESPN Plus. You're spending less on the pay per view. The Paramount subscription basically absorbs the cost of what you were paying ESPN Plus. I'm going to keep ESPN Plus because they have some other stuff I like, but yeah.
Yeah, ESPN Plus has a lot of college wrestling nowadays. Like I think all of Cornell's on there. There's a number of wrestling events on. I think that's why I have it. Or unlock your Fire Stick. Ron in the chat says, Ron, no illegal talk. We're law-abiding citizens.
We're very above board here on Bashing the Brain.
Yeah. So the pay-per-view model is officially dead. Officially dead. It's all streaming services. Maybe the UFC followed RAF. You know, you guys signed a deal with Fox Nation, do streaming instead of pay-per-view, and then the UFC does a $7.7 billion deal.
I'll let you know when we get our $7.7 billion deal.
Please, just don't forget about us little guys. All right, next up on the docket, Willie.
On the docket.
It is U20 Junior World Championships week, kind of. Because technically Sunday starts the new week. But our guys are traveling there. They're getting ready. They're making weight. Sunday, men's freestyle action kicks off. So it goes men's freestyle Sunday, Monday, Tuesday into women's freestyle for the next 3 days, and then Greco for the last couple of days.
Yep.
So we're getting World Championships, more action. We'll run through the team real quick. Going is Anthony Knox, committed to Cornell. Marcus Blaze, committed to Penn State. Luke Stanich, I don't know why I put Penn State in the show note there. Lehigh. PJ Duke, Penn State. D. Lockett, Oklahoma State. William Henkel, Penn State. Max McAnally, Minnesota. Connor Marasola, Penn State. Justin Rademacher, Oregon State. Cole Marasola, Penn State. Very, very talented team heading to Worlds.
Good team. Really good team. Man, I'd really like to be there. I said to somebody, Scott Green is one of the coaches on the staff, and you know, he watched the show and said, are you still going to juniors? And I said, man, I don't know. This RAF stuff got me really, really busy, and it's right around the corner. But I consider going to Junior Worlds every year, but this team is so dang good and so dang fun. I kind of still tinker with the idea of going over there for a couple days, but I don't know. We'll see. It's just a really good team. A lot of optimism. There's a lot of returning points back. You know, Anthony Knox was in the Challenge Tournament finals last year. Marcus Blaze has medaled before. Luke Stanich beat a returning medalist to get on the team. PJ Duke medaled before. D. Lockett medaled before. Will Henkel was in the finals before of the trials. McAnally was in the finals before. Mirasola has made a team before. Justin Rademacher, returning medalist. You know, so the team is proven.
Yeah, it's such a tough team, and this really is, when you look at, like, you know, we talk about one of the reasons we love cadets and cadet world championships is you start to get a look at the future of the sport. This one's really, really fun because it's like, for the most part, you're getting a chance to see the future of college sports. Like Anthony Knox, Marcus Blaze, PJ Duke, D. Lockett, Henkel. These are guys that we haven't seen yet on the college level. You know, some of them we have, like Stanich and McAnally, Mirasola, but it's so fun to start getting a glimpse at some of these guys who are going to be, you know, projected monsters collegiately.
Yeah, look, Anthony Knox, incoming freshman. Marcus Blaze, incoming freshman. Stanich has been in college for a little bit. PJ Duke, incoming freshman. D. Lockett, incoming freshman. Will Henkel, incoming freshman. You know, it's young.
Yeah, and the upper weights are a little seasoned, as that normally goes, where the upper weights and these you know, cadets and juniors are closer to the next level. But it's gonna be super fun to watch. There's a lot of tough competition. You know, it's easy to look at a squad like this and just think gold. But there is a lot of international competition. There's a lot of good guys out there, so it's going to be some
Hey,
fun
you know
wrestling.
what we never talked about? You know what we never talked about? um, in that vein is that what is going on with Russia? I mean, I know that cadets isn't. I don't want to look at cadets and say, "Wow, Russia really stunk at cadets," and project that onto juniors and U-23s and seniors. But man, Russia's Russia's been down. Uh, I don't know. I'm really interested to see. I'm really
It,
interested. I mean, Russia didn't make much of a dent, although they did win the last match to give us the team title. But
yeah, I mean, these last couple of years with the war between Russia and Ukraine, it's also like they haven't been in a lot of events, and you got to wonder how much that affects their training and what their situation is like development wise. So,
I don't know. But I mean, the Dagestan, the region where most of their guys come from, they ain't fighting in the war, are they? I
no,
mean,
they're not. But I'm saying, like, look at guys like Sedulayev, Sidakov. They're missing world championships here and there. They're missing events. Does that mean? I don't know. When it's not when you're not in that routine and regimen, I just wonder how much it affects the overall development, momentum, all of that for the
well,
country.
I could certainly understand the seniors. I can understand the seniors because they got blacklisted and they can't compete, and there's uncertainty and the training. Probably, but for like,
But don't you think it will? Don't you think it trickles down to a degree?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it affects the kids.
No.
How does it affect? How does it? I don't know. I mean, tell me, why would the Russian cadet team be so far removed from their former selves? I mean, it's
It's a fair
are
question.
the,
Yeah.
are the kids in Dagestan, and when I say kids, I mean kids. I mean 15, 16-year-olds. Are they affected by political instability? Are Dagestani school children not developing in wrestling because of the war in Ukraine?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it affects.
I don't know either.
It's we'll find out, or maybe we can find out. I should say.
Doug, you ginormous moron. I literally said cadets. You slapdick.
So yeah, Junior Worlds action starts at like 3:30 a.m. Eastern, live on Flow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for men's freestyle. We'll be covering the event as we always do. Make sure to follow Willie, follow me, follow Baschamania. All right, Junior World Championships. Get excited for that. Do you want to talk any more Real American here? We got some notes in the doc. We covered a lot of it.
No, we got time to talk about RAF coming up. I'm just excited to watch. I'm excited to watch juniors. I'm excited to see who takes the spot at Oregon State, who takes the spot at Binghamton, who Lehigh hires.
Hey, Will, you got a tweet in the show notes that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. We can get that in here. It it was kind of just an aside. The original tweet had Matt Kuntz, who was a very solid high school wrestler, pinning Jesse Mendez in state. I think it was state finals, and it said something like, "Why Jesse Mendez isn't a 4-timer" or something like that. And to which I said, if I could emphasize one thing, it's that state titles aren't what the end-all be-all that parents think it is. And just because Jesse Mendez lost in state finals one time does not mean does not change anything. It also doesn't change. It doesn't change anything about who Jesse Mendez is, and what he can and will go on to be. And it doesn't really change much about what Matt Kuntz is and what he will go on to be. And I don't know, the impetus or the genesis of something that you tweet isn't always, I don't always make it very clear, but that's part of it's part of another conversation that I find frustrating in wrestling, is that I see so many people. Listen, obviously it's a tremendous accomplishment, and it's a goal that you set on your calendar, and it's something you target. A state title. It's important. It's important to have goals and to set it and to go get it. But within that, I see state titles more than anything else. More than a Fargo title, more than, hey, I want a place at Super 32. I want to make a team. I see success and failure at the state level with this giant goal of accomplishing either I want to be a state champion, I want to be a state placer. I think it helps. I think it ruins more kids. That particular goal ruins the kids' experience more than anything in two ways. One, if they don't get it done, it breaks their heart. And it's like, I can't make it in this game. And number two, they put such an emphasis on it. And when I say them, I mean the wrestlers themselves, and most oftentimes their parents, that even when they do accomplish it, they've had this goal for 4 years and they get it. When they do accomplish it, it makes them feel like they made it and nothing else matters. And I've seen so many times really talented, really driven, really committed kids win the state title and then go on to do nothing. Maybe party, maybe drink, maybe work less hard after they accomplish that. And so even when they accomplish it, even when they reach their goal, it's almost a bad thing, because it's very obvious to see that by winning that, they think they made it. They think, well, I did it. Now I'm retiring, so to speak. I used to always get asked about, and this is like 90s or the late 90s, the 2000s. Man, this kid was so good. What happened to him? He was so great in high school. This PA guy, man, he was amazing. How come he didn't pan out in college? How come he didn't do it? You get asked all the time. What about California? Man, they produce all these guys. They don't have a lot of AAs. I'm telling you what it is. They put such an emphasis that they freaking blow their engine at the end of high school. There's so much pressure on them. There's so much cerebral effort and emphasis on a state title that when it's over, win or lose, get the state title or not, hit your state goal or not, they are exhausted. They're spent. And nothing else matters to them. And obviously it doesn't happen with every single person. But if you want to look at California right now, I feel like California right now is in a place that that PA was in the aughts, in that when a PA kid wins a title, they go haywire. They made it in life. And then they blow off steam. And I think for a lot of kids in California, it's state title or bust. And I'm not saying I'm not saying that you shouldn't emphasize a state title. I'm not saying that shouldn't be circled on your calendar and that shouldn't be a goal and you should work hard for it. What I'm saying is you should keep it in perspective.
Got some comments in the chat. People are chiming in.
What are they saying, bud?
Well, we got a couple guys talking about football. They want you to talk about football and revenue. Keith Got Hard is telling you, I think he's pushing back a little bit. He's saying, yeah, because there's so many guys wrestling D1 that never won a state title in high school. Come on, get real. It's important, especially for that age group. Let's pretend like it's not.
Well, I mean, I just gave you an example. I just gave you a very clear example. Matt Kuntz pinned Jesse Mendez in state finals. Where's Matt Kuntz? Where's Jesse Mendez? It's not the end all be all. You want to talk about? Listen, look at the incredible list of 4-timers in California. Right? Look at the incredible list of 4-timers in California. Don Bashada's on Fox and Friends right now.
On Fox and
Donnie
Friends?
Donnie B is on Fox and Friends talking about bluefin tuna.
What?
What is happening right now? My friend is on Fox and Friends. So, what?
What? I just put it on.
Look at
you can't make this up.
He's on Fox and Friends. We got to record it. Listen, look at the list of 4-timers in California. Single state class, hard as hell. Probably the least amount of 4-timers of any state. They don't tune out too good, do they? Again, I'm not saying you should tell your kids state tournament don't matter. I ain't saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that parents oftentimes put too much weight on it. I'm saying that it's often overemphasized. Don't take my word for it. People that know. Ask Adam Terapelli. Ask some of the best coaches in the country.
I'm just distracted by Donnie B on Fox.
Keith Gavin never won a state title. He won a Hodge. All right. Keith, you're getting it twisted, bro. You're getting it twisted. You stop talking about me talking about the exceptions because they're not exceptions. Go look at some of the top ranked guys. Okay. Go look at some of the top performing guys in high school. Look at some of the top ranked guys in Pennsylvania in 2000 to 2010. Go look at some of the top performing guys in California from 2010 till now. Now you tell me, why didn't they pan out in college? Is it because they weren't good? Is it because they were overrated? No. It's because that they emphasized winning now over long-term development. And that's the truth. And we started the show talking about Jayden James. You know what Jayden James did as a freshman? Didn't win a state title. You know what he didn't do as a sophomore in high school? He didn't win a state title. He won his first title this year. Because they weren't chasing winning now. And you chase wins now, it stunts your growth, and it also puts the emphasis on the wrong thing. Not development, not long-term progression, not getting to where you want to be, not being in a healthy state. It's win now or else. And it fucks kids up. Don't tell me any different, because you'd be talking out of your ass. That's another thing we got to talk about. Listen, that's Flow quarter century team. I mean, they made the wrong move at almost every turn. I don't care about it. I don't like dig into it, and I just really don't care about it. But I see people talking about it, and I'll see like a post go up, and it says, this such and such a person is all quarter century team. I'm like, what? I don't even dig into the numbers, and off the top of my head, that's wrong.
Can you give me an example?
I'll actually see a banner. This is how bad it is. I'll actually see a banner with like, who should be the all quarter century team at this, and they'll have like 3 guys, and I'm like, what? The guy you should really be considering isn't even on there.
Give me a for instance. When are we gonna get the brain quarter century team?
Yeah, I'm a little reluctant to do the. I'm a little reluctant to do to do my own quarter century team, because then it looks like I'm piggybacking off Flow's content and ripping Flow to rip Flow. I don't want to steal somebody's concept or idea.
No, listen. I think whether you like it or not, I love that Flow's doing it. I think the more content you have and the more content you have to talk about, the better. You see that? You know how many freaking preseason top 25 football polls I've seen in the last 2 weeks? Here's Brandon Walker's. Here's Josh Pate's. Here's CBS's. Like, I think it's good. I think it's great to have an opinion and then say, here's mine. I don't think it's
well, okay. First things first. Their decision making is shenanigans. No, their decision making is awful. Okay? And then to combine that with the clear and utter obviousness that is them trying to fit square pegs in round holes so they don't offend people, so they don't leave guys off of team, is just stupid. It's just neon lights like, well, we're trying to squeeze in the best individuals regardless of weights. Listen, Cael Sanderson won 1 title at 97. Cael Sanderson won 1 title at 97. Did he not? He beat Trench?
I think he went up for. I thought he did 2 and 2. Maybe not.
Do you know that there's one human being ever? There's one human being ever that won 3 titles at 97. Who is it?
A lot of guys went up. Who?
Jayden Cox.
Yeah. What did Ruth was? What, 84, and then
Ruth was 74 and then 84.
Yeah.
Jayden Cox should have been 197, and you're not going to change my mind. Cael should be 84, and you're not going to change my mind. I don't care all the hoops that you're going to try to jump through to say Aaron Brooks should be on there, or Carter Starachi because he won 5, or like jump through all the hoops you want. Cael Sanderson was the best 84-pounder. Jayden Cox was the best 97-pounder. Jayden Cox made freaking world teams when he's in college. Right? He kept guys off the team. He kept David Taylor off the team. He beat Kyle Dake in the Olympic trials. Right? To me, they're trying to shoehorn certain guys in there, and that's just from the surface level. Again, I didn't dig into the numbers. I'm just looking from afar, and I'm not really digging into it. But I'm looking over here, and I'm like, Cael Sanderson at 97. He wrestled there 1 year, maybe. I think 1, maybe 2. Jayden's the only human that's ever won 3. I see Gable. I see Steve Mocco on a banner with no Cole Conrad. I mean, frankly, Gable Stevenson, give me a break. I mean, you have to be a real front-running Johnny-come-lately and ignore history to say Gable Stevenson should be in consideration for the best heavyweight of the past 25 years. He won 2 titles.
Also won something called the Olympics.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know how they're factoring that in. I don't know what they're. I didn't.
How do you pick somebody that didn't win as a senior?
I didn't watch the criteria. Like I don't know what the.
How do you pick somebody that didn't win as a senior? I'll tell you. There's another one. I'm not saying that Stephen Abbas was better than Spencer Lee. What I'm saying is, Stephen Abbas went 2-1-1-1 or 3-1-1-1. Spencer didn't win as a senior. Stephen Abbas had less losses than Spencer Lee. He won 3 straight to end his career. To me, that's, I mean, bro, that's a recency one. The criteria was vibes. That makes a lot of sense.
All right. Well, we're gonna need a Willie. Give me your quarter century team later today. I'll get a graphic made for you, and we can let the fans decide.
That requires work. I'm just saying. Okay, so here's my Stephen Abbas would be my 25. Jayden would be my 97. I don't know who would be my heavyweight yet, but it would not include. I'll just tell you this: anybody that lost their senior year, I would not include. Hey, here's the best guy at the weight in the past 25 years. Oh yeah, how'd he do as a senior? Didn't win. What? I mean, I think that Dake is highly problematic. Well, I mean, I kind of lean. You guys might call me crazy, but I kind of lean not putting Dake on it. I mean, this is about who accomplished the most at a weight. Kyle Dake didn't accomplish the most at any weight. You can have your 4 titles at 4 different weight classes, and that could be a badge of honor, and that could be the only one that's ever done that, and that could be his bio, and that could be on his tombstone, and that could be written in the sky. But you also don't get to say, I was the best at the weight. You weren't. You only wrestled there 1 year. You can't have it both ways.
It's a fair point.
You can't say, well, we should put him on because he was really, really good. The criteria is, the guidelines are, who was the best in a weight in this 25 years? And Kyle Dake wrestled only 1 year at each of them. I start and stop there.
I'm going to have to get my guy Bashada off Fox News
if your goal in life is, if your goal is to be the only guy that won 4 titles at 4 different weights, if you want to win 2 titles at 2 different weights, you get that accolade. You get that honor. What you don't get is to say, I was the best at this over the past 25 years, because you weren't, because you were there 1 year. Kale was only, that's right too. Kale was only 2 years in this century. And you know who else that affected? I believe, again, I did not dig in on all this, but I believe that really came into play too with Stephen Neal, maybe? I believe that was, he would have been in contention, but he just missed the cutoff.
He won gold in 98, 99 in college.
Yeah, see, just before this era, he was really good. That's it. That's my rant today. Or maybe I go like, oh, he was a really good wrestler, so we have to have him in, even though he didn't wrestle. He only wrestled 1 year there, but how do we leave him off? We're gonna get a sternly worded tweet from Kyle Dake if we don't include him.
And there you have it. Happy Monday. Football's officially back. Willie's back in the States. Let's have a week. Thank you for tuning in.
Let's have a week.
We'll be back soon with another episode. Subscribe, comment, do all those great things. Leave a comment with your all-century team below. Go Bills.
Go Bills.